Hey guys, welcome back to episode number 11 of the Canadian Hustlers podcast. We're here today with Rebecca Visscher and Jessica Veldhoven from Urban Wheel Boutique. Welcome. Can you quickly start with an introduction of both of you guys? What do you do? Where did you grow up?
I'm Rebecca, and I actually am Alex's wife, believe it or not.
Beautiful.
Yes, and I grew up actually in Haldimand County, about an hour away from here.
Okay.
And I actually came up with the idea for the business in February of 2018.
Last year?
Yeah. And what had happened was I had been making handmade decorations and I had been selling my items with other artisan stores.
Okay.
And I decided that we needed one in Oxford County because at the time not one existed here.
Got it.
And I thought that'd be a great idea for me to start.
Yeah, so what is Urban Wheel Boutique?
Urban Wheel Boutique, it's a collection of local artisans. They make everything from decor, bath and body, cold press soaps. They sew things, they crochet things, they quilt.
Really cool.
Yeah, do just about everything you can think of woodworking.
Yeah.
So we just have a great showcase of their items and available for purchase.
Really cool. Jessica, you're working at Urban Wheel, you're doing it together with Rebecca?
Yeah, so it's together. So
yeah.
Pretty much, how it happened. She said she came with the idea. She came to my place, and then she kind of was talking about it, and I was like, "Do you want some help?" Because I also kind of do the signs and everything. Right?
Okay.
So, I was like,
you were handcrafting.
Yeah, and I kind of knew that I wanted to expand into something more than just the sign business kind of thing. So I asked if she wanted help, and then it kind of just sprouted from there. So that's kind of how we made the business together. So,
yeah, real nice. So Urban Wheel existed before, didn't it?
Yeah.
Or was it a new concept that got brought in, or did the whole store idea completely change up? What was kind of the transition that happened about a year ago?
So how it happened is when we first started, we just kind of essentially rented a space at Sundown Farms.
Okay.
And so we just kind of started artisan market there, and then we recently did a huge renovation. And when that happened, we kind of decided to combine businesses all together. So Sundown Farms and Urban Wheel are now one business, and our motto is pretty much anything made in Ontario. So we've got food, and now we've got artisans, we've got all that kind of anything you can think of in Ontario. Hopefully we're going to expand.
Yeah, really nice. So you're looking to expand. Right now it's, you said Ontario, is it, so what kind of crafts do you sell in the store? Do you still make a part of it yourself?
Yeah.
What is kind of the link
So we still love crafting. Deep down in heart, we're crazy little crafters.
Yeah.
So we're being honest. So pretty much,
awesome.
So Rebecca still does the wreaths, and I still do the signs.
Okay.
And we do have other vendors as well that kind of help, fill the voids when we're not able to kind of completely do everything.
Okay.
And then we've kind of just done a couple other things on the side. Like we've done some DIY classes together where we was like, where it's like porch decoration. So make a sign, make a wreath together, and then we've done different kind of deco projects, just whatever we feel that day, honestly. We do when we have in a minute. Other than that, the store is kind of the main focus for us.
Really nice.
So
that's cool. So going from pretty much in the kitchen handcrafting items to selling it in the store, that was probably a complete different thing. What was the biggest change that came with it?
The biggest change is obviously you have a brick and mortar store. So now you have to be in a store from 9 to 5 or whatever your hours are, right? And that was kind of a bit of a transition, right? Where you can't just do things at home, leave it on the counter and go away from there. I found that to be one of the biggest changes, and I don't know. What did you think?
Totally, and it's creating a space because we're both moms. Going from a home environment where it's easy set up for your kids to play, going to a business where people are coming in, you have to have that set up for your family. Like your business sort of becomes a second home for you and your kids.
I love that. They're enjoying it?
Yes, very much.
Helping out?
Yeah.
Coming to. Yeah.
I'm trying.
Like my son enjoys it more actually. He's quite a social person. Every person that comes in decides to sit there talking to him for 5 minutes, and people actually ask where he is when he's sleeping or if he's not there on Saturdays.
Right. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you both started that. Did you both have a career before that, or you were always a mom since your early 20s, or what was kind of transition towards opening the store?
What was your career path towards the store?
Yeah, that's
the question.
Yeah.
Okay, so pretty much for me, it started out like how the slime business was the main thing, like I said, right? So before we were renovating a house, and then I kind of wanted to have my own business, and we had some leftover wood and all that kind of stuff, so I decided to just make decor out of it, and
Right.
which escalated to the slime business. But
Yeah,
So
everyone
before the
makes a
sign business.
Before that even.
Yeah, let's go way back.
Like
It
out
was
of
my
high
very
school.
first
Yeah,
Out of high school.
Right out of high
We want the
school.
story from high school.
Oh my, that's
the
a
high
good
school story. Those
Yeah,
are the best.
So-
that's
right.
what brought you to here, right? So
Okay.
we want to know what you've learned along the way
Okay.
in order to run a business in
Okay.
a sense.
So right out of high school, I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I just kind of moved out, was waitressing, and then I decided to go tree planting. And then I came back and I was like, okay, I kind of want to do something. So then I went to school for graphic design for a year.
Okay.
So I did that, and then I started working in that field for a while, and I just could not stand sitting on my butt all day. I could not just sit around
Yeah.
and just in front of a computer. It wasn't for me, and I knew that.
But
so
you did like the creative part of it.
love the creative part.
Right.
I always have. So my mom actually
Yeah.
pushed me into graphic design because she thought I'd be really good at it because I was always creative. So after that, I just didn't know what I wanted to do. So I just went tree planting again, and then I came back because it's only kind of like a 2-month thing. And then what did I do after that? I worked on my parents' farm when I came back, and just
Okay.
kind of was dairy farming. And then I moved to Ontario with a friend. I wanted to go to Nova Scotia, but she's like, no, I want to move to Ontario, so I decided to go with her. And then
So you're not originally from here.
no.
Okay.
So I moved to Ontario, and then I was waitressing again, and then I went to school for PSW. So I did that for a while, and then I married my husband, and I knew that I did not want to do shift work for the rest of my life, not with a family. So then from there is when I quit that job. We were flipping a house, and that's when I got into the sign business, and then from there kind of went to this. So
Really cool.
that's- And then I could still do the design part of it too,
Yeah.
right? So
That's awesome. What about you?
I spent 10 years in 3 different companies doing various administrative tasks.
Okay.
So a little bit of everything, including accounting. And then I went off on maternity leave with my first child.
Yeah.
And I got a little bit bored. I was used to the grind.
Right.
And
Being busy and
once you get into a routine with a child, you do miss that kind of busyness.
Yeah,
of
I can see
working.
that.
So
Mhm.
I thought I'm gonna do something. So I started making wreaths. I really liked burlap wreaths,
yeah.
and so I made one for myself, and I decided to keep making them. So I started doing that. I started running do-it-yourself classes for them,
Okay.
and then I started selling them in various stores.
Cool. So did you already have a business established at that time, or was it just out of your house selling?
It was just out of my house.
Okay. So how did people find out that you were selling them when you just got started?
Oh, 100% social media.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty much how most people with their own business these
Yeah.
days get
Start
that
out.
out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I just started posting them for sale on like buy, sell, trade websites
Okay.
and groups, and yeah, people were like, "Oh, you do wreaths," and then someone would see that wreath on their friend's door, and they would contact me.
Right.
I saw you made this beautiful wreath for my friend. Can you make one for me, please?
Yeah.
So it went really well like that, and also doing the classes really helped get my name out there as well.
And the same with the signs you did on social media as well.
Yeah.
That's where you built off of, right? So
it's one of the best and the worst things, I think. If a business could run without social media, I would enjoy that more. But it's such
it's a necessary evil nowadays,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
So what made you think about? I actually really like the idea of starting workshops, of it, giving classes. How did you come up with that?
My friend suggested it
Okay.
because she herself really wanted to make one, but she had no idea how.
There you go. You
So-
had,
I just thought, okay, well, let's just do a whole class.
yeah, and you did it at your own place, or you?
I actually did my very, very first class in the basement of my mom's house.
Okay.
Yeah, because I knew a lot of people in that area. She
Yeah.
lives in Caledonia, so I just did my first class in her basement.
That's
and
really cool.
I think there was maybe 8 or 10 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, we hope to expand that in the current store as well, kind of more workshops in the back, because we find it is a great way for people to come. They come in, look at your product, they can make the product, and it's attracting the right clientele, right? People who normally wouldn't come out to your store will come out if they can create something.
It's like a fun service and an atmosphere too, right?
Yeah,
exactly. Trying to create. Right?
I've actually been thinking about that a lot lately. Retail in general, because it's not a necessity anymore to have a brick and mortar store. It has to change somehow into an experience that people actually want to be there, as opposed to, hey, I just need a product, so I need to go to the store. So I believe that's eventually gonna.
Well, with Amazon and stuff like that, it does phase out a lot of that stuff. So you're creating an experience that way, and that's what keeps you relevant in today's
I think so.
market.
Yeah, and that and also the unique items that we carry, we feel keep us relevant in today's market, because the essentials, the things you get on Amazon, those aren't things you can find in our store.
Right.
We're off the beaten path. We have unique items.
Like
the dill pickle ketchup.
Yeah, dill pickle ketchup advocate.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah.
Never
it's
had
so
that
good.
before.
It's so
really
good.
good actually.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It was promoted by Jess, and I had some.
Okay.
I could see I'll have some more. It's really good actually.
Yeah.
Good.
So is it a local company that makes it, or you guys make? Yeah.
Yeah, I actually tried it at the Tilsonburg Fair, I think it was.
Okay.
Me and my husband did, and then from there I've just been kind of searching for it ever since. And I was like, hey, I have a store, I could probably stock it in there.
Right.
So, yeah.
Awesome.
Want to speak to some more of the unique products you guys have, like food wise?
Sure. Yeah, we have
the really unique stuff. You know
the
what I mean?
really unique stuff. We have some awesome crabapple jelly, and they also do these. It's made locally, crabapple drink mixes. So they have cocktail recipes on there, and they're cocktail mixers. And we've
got a lot of this chocolate. This chocolate that we have, it's from Habitual Chocolate in Woodstock. So he actually brings it in, and a lot of these people, they source their products, and they get it in from all these different areas. And like the chocolate, he makes it all himself, and it's real chocolate. It's not like stuff you find on the shelf.
Right.
It's dark chocolate, but it doesn't taste bitter. It's delicious. And then on top of that, we have the coffee too, right? They source their beans. You know a bit more about it. You can talk about it if you want.
Yeah, their focus is on fair trade. So they want it to be sustainably sourced right from farmers. And then they roast it right in Woodstock at their place. So that's early bird coffee.
Okay.
Yeah, they do a really great smooth coffee. They have, I think, 5 different blends now.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's another one of the unique items that we carry. We also carry this amazing handmade pasta. It's got so much extra nutrients. It's so much better for you than just the regular pasta on the shelf. And again, it's something you wouldn't find anywhere other than like our store, maybe a farmer's market.
Yeah.
So
really cool.
Yeah.
How can you kind of navigate on what you could potentially sell in the store and what is hard to sell? Like how can you source your products? Is it just a trial and error kind of thing, or what's in the process there?
We've been open for a little bit too, so we kind of, when people come and ask us, like we know what people are looking for. Like a lot of gluten-free is kind of a huge thing, and vegetarian and everything. So we kind of try going towards that, but something that would be staples in a house, right? Like the pastas, we tried 2 of them, just see, because we tried them ourselves and thought they were delicious. But we want to see if people like the price point, they like the product, and then from there we see if they want it. And if we're selling a lot of it, then we'll expand. Usually we'll just test a couple products and then kind of go from there. Yeah,
that makes sense.
And with testing too, it's like an information path, right? Without people see a product on the shelf, you don't test it or you don't sample it, and people won't. It's hard to sell. It needs a story behind it.
Yeah.
You have to be able to taste it.
Yeah. So that's probably a big part of the company itself too. Then a lot of things you can kind of try out. Well, and making it yourself, a big part of it too.
Yes, I find personally that when I'm selling in the store, if I've taken the product home and used it and shown a few different uses for it or recipes, then when a customer comes in and they always ask this same question is, what can I do with this, or what can I use this for? And so that's really helpful, is if you've used it yourself.
Right.
That's A, you standing behind your product, and B, it's just giving a practical use for it. Like the apple butter that we sell, I love making that into a barbecue sauce, and I use it on pulled pork, and everyone, they hear that and they go, because they immediately think it's a spread, we're going to put it on our toast, but there's so much more you can do with it.
So as soon as you make a personal story for something, it does seem to sell it more. So you can talk about the
100%.
ingredients all day, how it's made all day. As soon
Yeah.
as you say, I use it for this, or I use it for that, or I've had it with this, you'll sell it way faster.
And we find too, like a lot of the products, like we said, it's all locally sourced.
Right.
And a lot of these people we have talked to, we have met, and we see their families and everything, right? So if you tell, like we have this one body product lady, and she started her business when I believe she was 16 years old. She's 18 now, and she's got this huge lineup, and she's doing quite well.
Okay.
It's just,
Local?
it's quite, yeah, it is. It's
Really
quite, I
cool.
think she's from Woodstock, I think it was, Brits. Anyway, yeah, so she's local, and it's amazing, right? You tell people that, and all of a sudden they get inspired. They're like, good for her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they want to buy those products. So if you can tell people where they come from, and the family you're supporting it when you buy it, it's huge.
I like that.
So,
Hey, you know, B from last episode, we heard products in the store as well.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's another locally sourced.
Yeah, she's from London.
Yeah.
So it's just a combination of a lot of local products. Is it mostly regular customers, or do you have a lot of visitors coming in who've never seen it before?
Both.
Both.
We have a lot of day trippers in our area.
Okay.
They go on something like the Oxford County Cheese Trail, or they will, be out and about trying to go to the airport, maybe in Tilsonburg, which is super close, for some lunch, and they'll go, oh, we saw your place and we thought we'd stop in. But then we have our regulars.
Yeah, we have a lot of people coming in for their staples. Like every Friday, I see the exact same people for cheese curds. I see the exact same people coming for eggs, and it's just, you always know a product they're gonna come for.
You build up a connection with them too, which is really nice. Yeah.
And when you make a post on social media, how well does that work? So let's say I know you guys do like features and stuff like that. Like after making a post, do you guys notice people come in for those things?
I think so. Like we do. Oh yeah, we post a lot. Sorry.
That's okay.
So yeah, I do find that we do get a lot of responses from that, especially when we do our videos and everything. I'm not sure if it's because they can see us or they just enjoy watching the video and hearing us talk.
Yeah.
But either way, it does. Like I find people do come in a lot for those products.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, it's adding that story behind the products they would just maybe walk past on the shelves.
Right.
We also have a lot of different products, so I think that when we feature certain things, it just gives people an opportunity to get to know some of the stuff they wouldn't necessarily come in for. Like maybe they come in for cheese curds all the time and they didn't realize we have reusable produce bags, for example.
Right.
And we do have an ever changing lineup as well, because vendors are always coming and dropping new stuff off. Because pretty much everything, if it's handmade, it's one of a kind, right? So then we have so many different products coming in that if we always post about what's new in store, then I think it's a lot easier to see. It's not like you have same lineup. Here's my spring lineup, my winter lineup. It's a little bit different than that.
Yeah. So most people we had on had companies that sold all over the place, or were not that locally based or locally focused. What are some of the key things that you should think of when you start something that is focused on such a local community in terms of marketing or starting up the business?
Well, you have to know your demographic 100%. And I think another thing you have to realize is you're selling to a community. So you have to stand behind your product and you have to bring in stuff that you believe in. If you don't believe in it, you're not going to sell to people that you rely on a very, very small base of customers in a community rather than selling across Canada.
Right.
So you have to create a rapport with them, stand behind your product. Because if you don't believe in it, they won't believe you. Especially in a small town, small community.
Yeah.
I think customer service is huge.
Yeah.
It is.
Right, like especially in a small community like that, like you want to service every customer as good as you can, and you build it one person at a time.
Right.
Absolutely.
But you guys are online as well, right? You guys have a on
Yeah, we have an
Shopify,
online
I
store.
think it is?
Yeah,
Okay.
Shopify.
Yeah.
We have a Shopify store, so everything on the Artisan side is you can buy it online, and then we're hoping to get a couple more of our unique food products, but that's kind of.
So you guys ship Canada wide kind of thing, or
Yeah, we
Okay.
even did a shipment. I think 2 shipments to the States. So.
Okay, cool, nice.
Yeah.
So what is kind of the what works better with those kind of products? Is it the Shopify part of it, or is it a brick and mortar still for you guys?
But it's so hard because when we first started the Shopify store, it took a lot of work because every product's different. You're taking pictures of all these, and it was a lot of work. But And we sell, I'd say maybe 5% of our sales are online. So
Okay.
that's not a very high number. We're hoping to build that. But we have people coming in constantly saying, I've seen this on your website. I scoped your website. I want this, I want this, I want this.
So it's technically an
So
online sale, but it's
it's
not, right?
It's almost a catalog, and people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
what
I
we
would
have
say,
and everything.
yeah, we have about 50% of people coming in saying that. Like we have a lot of people coming in telling me that they've seen this online. So it's hard to say that what, you know, like it's worth doing, but
Yeah.
sometimes it doesn't feel like it. So,
Yeah, that makes sense because I actually could really see that working. Because if you post something on your Facebook or Instagram page and you feature one product and the person is not necessarily interested in the product, where can they go to learn more about the store, right? Or what you have available in store. A website is super helpful. I would do the same thing. If there was a local store and said, hey, what are these guys about? And if it's local, yeah, I might not necessarily buy it online, but just drive by sometime and say, hey, let's check it out. So that's it's more of a catalog
Yeah.
Yeah.
way of looking at it. Yeah.
So what's the future like for Urban Wheel? What's the next 3 to 5 years look like?
Big things.
Big
Yeah.
things.
That's good.
We hope to expand a little bit on our food side. We always enjoy finding new products, but we find that we have to seek those products out more so. The artisan community, they know each other and they talk, and so we find that we would get people on the artisan side of things contacting us to carry their products versus the food products. So we hope to expand the food products, find some nice unique items to kind of round out what we have.
I think like the artisan side of things is always changing too, because there's always a new trend,
Yeah.
something new, something different. Whereas food is, I mean, ketchup is ketchup. I know you have dill pickle ketchup, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Like it's one product is one product, and it doesn't really change as much. Whereas I know with crafts and stuff like that, there's a lot of trends,
Yeah.
right? So you have an ever changing market in that sense.
Yeah.
And our big dream, I guess, would be to expand into counter service as well. So, because cheese is a huge part of our business, actually. On
Okay.
the cheese trail, people come in constantly. Like that's probably one of our biggest
So you're a
sellers.
part of the cheese trail.
trail.
Yeah.
That's weird.
How many different varieties of cheese do you have?
It's on you, Becca.
I believe it's over 80.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just brought in a new lineup of cashew cheese, which is dairy free,
Okay.
made in
Okay.
London.
For
Very
people that
cool.
are lactose intolerant, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, or
Yeah,
vegan.
Yeah.
For a variety of different reasons, people won't eat dairy or can't. So
That's awesome.
yeah,
So,
80 different
Varieties of cheeses, yeah. And that's all local.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it is.
I shouldn't speak for you guys.
No,
but
it's okay.
Yeah, no, that's
yeah, it's all local.
okay, so what do you mean with a counter service? It should
So
be-
eventually, yeah. Sorry, I interrupted you.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
So eventually, we want to be able to like have wheels there, so you can cut wheels
Okay.
and serve it in that size, and then we could do meats as well, and then which would be an extension. You know, we could offer like local coffees, local baked goods, local sandwiches, all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. Just our dream would be to make Urban Wheel that's a destination. We want people to go there. We want people to spend time there, and to get pretty much everything they need there.
Yeah.
It's kind of
Unique experience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Cool.
Yeah.
What is kind of the path towards that? What would you need in order to get to the
Time
ideal
decisions.
picture?
We need to improve our facilities a little bit, build up on those. Because right now our facilities are not approved for what we want to do. We
Okay.
kind of basically go under construction a little bit.
Got it.
So we have to do that, and we need to perfect what we already have
Yeah.
before we get our feet wet in something else.
We've only been open for 2 years now.
Yeah,
Close
this
to.
is our second year,
Yeah.
but we also underwent a massive renovation this year. We were closed for several months, so we really need to just kick it into high gear with what we had before and what we have now before we introduce something else into our store.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Being a working mom too, it's
Oh, yes.
strenuous and it's time consuming.
We don't have the time right now
No.
to fully
Right, so-
invest. I have a 6-week-old baby, and I have a 3.5-year-old. She's just starting kindergarten right now.
Yeah.
So.
And you have a
My 9-month-old just
9
learned
months
how to
old.
crawl, so
First one.
yeah, first
and
one.
our mother's in the store as well.
Mm-hmm.
Or my mom, I guess. I should say. But she's due for a hip replacement, so there's just, it's a matter of time. A lot of personal stuff, but it's just, it takes time to build beyond that.
But
right? So
how do you kind of manage it, being a mom and still working on something you love? Because I think that's a big thing. I see a lot of moms who come out of school, they have a job for, let's say, 2 or 3 years. They might even go to college to get a degree in something. Then they get a child and they stay at home.
Mm-hmm.
Which can be great, of course, it's a personal choice to make. But what is for you the importance of, hey, I'm a mom, but in the meantime, I do still work on whatever I love to do?
I think it's understanding priorities, right? Like right now, we're good where we are. We can manage it in the sense of, we're not taking on too much. Like we have an event coming up and stuff, but we're not trying to expand any further. We are where we are. We're kind of caught up. You know what I mean? So then, at this point, we know we can manage it. We know we're good, and you can't take on more than that. You know what I mean? Like we would love to grow, we'd love to expand, but how well can you do it? If you can't give your full self into it, why would you do it, right? And right now,
first do what you have really good, and then build off that.
You have to find a really great balance, because you really don't want to sacrifice time with your family and time with your kids when they're little, because it's fleeting.
It's not coming back.
It's not going to come back, and it goes so quick. If I know anything, because my daughter's starting JK, I'm really going to enjoy this next few years with my son.
Yeah.
But you also have to realize that there's a part of you that really values what we're doing and doing it well. And so you only can take on so much so that you can do what you're doing well. I think if we took more on, we could do it, but we wouldn't do it well. We would struggle, and it wouldn't be as good as it is.
In time you can, right? It just takes time to build it.
Yeah.
So you mentioned something that you're having an event coming up. You want to speak a little more to that?
Yeah, sure. We have our Fall Fest coming up, so this is their second annual. We had one last year, obviously that's why it's our second. So it was way bigger than we thought it ever would be. So we were quite excited about it. We you planned it last year. We had a bunch of vendors, and we had a petting zoo, and then we were like, oh yeah, people will come out, because we wanted to give back to the community, right? Right. And it was huge. Like we had people were lined up down the road. Like
really?
It was, So this year we're doing it again. So we've got a bunch for entertainment. We're trying to go a bit bigger, just kind of get a couple more things. So we've got 20 other local artisans coming in on top of what's in our store.
Okay.
We're gonna have a magician and a balloon twister, and then we're also gonna have a free slime class for kids.
Can you
we're
make me
gonna
a
have
bicycle?
food. Yeah. If you stop by, he can make you a bicycle for sure. So we're quite excited about it. We think it's going to be pretty big. People want to come see the facility, so I'm quite excited about it.
Me too.
So that's in a sense a really great strategy of getting more awareness around the store, right? Especially when you're so community focused. What is kind of involved in planning an event like that? If someone else would want to pull off an event for their store, what would you suggest them to do?
I think it's just trying to find something that would bring people out that you haven't seen before. You know what I mean? Like just offering something to people that they want to come out for, right? Like a lot of people are trying to find stuff to do for the kids. When I was doing my DIY classes, people were constantly like, you should do a class for kids. They're so bored. There's nothing to do around here, right? So having something for them to go to have fun, to spend the day at is huge.
It's really big.
You need something family-based, because there's a lot of stuff I feel like for adults to do, but not so much for kids.
There was a bouncy castle there last year too.
Yeah.
In case you want to go with it.
Okay, that's fine. I'll be in.
So,
Okay.
and then on top of that, I think just, like you said, provide people for experience. Why would they want to come out? What would make your event different than anything else? Because let's be honest, there's a lot of events always happening in Ontario.
Yeah.
So what sets you aside, right? Are you going to have better vendors? Are you going to have more? Are you going to have, better food? Or so I think that's, I don't know.
Do you guys think you'd be where you're at without social media?
No.
Definitely not.
Would you guys have even started?
I would have never been able to build my business whatsoever. I would never been to the point where I thought I could open a store.
I might have done something, but I don't know.
It's
hard. It's impossible to say. I could have put like a little bit of.
You could have put an advertisement on the paper, in the classifieds. Build a wreath.
Yeah, like I probably could have put some crafts in the store myself, but I don't know that it would have snowballed to what it is now ever.
Yeah, I don't know if Artisans would have really been around if it wasn't for social media in the beginning. Like, I don't think moms, because that's what most of our
Yeah.
crafters are.
Yeah.
I don't think they would have even started if it wasn't
They wouldn't have
the
stood there
ability
to
to
the
sell your
extent,
products
Right.
online.
Yeah, and
Right?
Christmas bazaars and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think that society, I guess if you can call it that, would even be to the scale that it is if it wasn't for that. So I don't think, and if we were to have a store, it would definitely not be in that location if it wasn't for social media.
Yeah.
True, yeah, because otherwise you'd have to be in town to get the traffic, right?
Yeah, unless you would stick to being like a fruits and veggie stand, which
Yeah.
we've kind of slowly gone away from. So.
Yeah. It's a really interesting thought actually. The social media in general, that it just opens up a lot of creativity that people couldn't express beforehand. But now they can share it with the world.
I just think it's so cheap to get your message out now.
Yeah.
Right, that's at zero cost. You can boost it if you want to, but if you get a true organic following, which you guys are working on and every day improving, that it's free.
Yeah.
Like you make a video, people watch it for free, and they come out and then you make a sale. And you grab 10, 15 years ago, that's not possible, not even close. Like your ROI was horrible on advertisement.
It is as a store, but as you said, you were bored as a mom at home, not knowing what to do. You started making something, and from there,
Yeah,
it's a very small step to say, hey, there might be a couple hours that I can spend a week doing something I like, and I might be able to make $50 a week selling that stuff. It can start on such a small scale.
and that's exactly how it did start.
Yeah.
right? And
Absolutely, yeah.
that's
Like,
huge.
I just thought once I was done with maternity leave, if I could make some money to like buy groceries, that was me
Yeah.
doing something while staying home with my daughter.
That's the thing too, right? If you as a single mom too, or not a single mom, sorry, as a wait a minute. No, as a mom, right?
Yeah.
If I work full time and they stay home and take care of the child, if they can make like $500 to $1,000 a month at home,
Mm-hmm.
you're further ahead. And social
Oh,
media
yeah.
gives the ability to do that.
It does.
Because by the time if you go to work, you put your kid in daycare, you do all that.
Mm-hmm.
You grab all those numbers for a second vehicle, all that extra expenses, an extra $500 to $1,000 a month, you are as far ahead. And social media makes the ability to do that and let that happen.
Yeah, it is financial, but I also think it's on the creative part of it.
Yeah,
Right?
that's
There's a lot of people that don't even think about the money part. Just think, hey, I want to make something and I want to show people what I make.
Yeah, it's true enjoyment.
It opens up the creativity for a lot of people who've never been in a space where they thought, hey, I might be able to do something and get people to see it. What I'm working on.
A lot of people do creative things. Like even when I was a kid, I did lots of creative things. I would like sew little purses and stuff. But there was no social media.
No.
Like where would you even think to sell this? Could this be a business? It was always like, oh look what I made here. I gave one to my sister, gave one to my mom, and that's it, right?
Yeah, and then you didn't have anyone else to give it to, so you stopped making them.
Exactly.
Yeah. And now, because you can't always get rid of them one way or the other, the creativity can pass on as well.
Yeah, it is creating like a slightly overflooded market too of some crafters, but the thing is then it makes people push for like a more professional business look.
Right.
I find too, which is huge.
Better
Like I know when
product.
we first opened up too, I was blown away by the professionalism of what local people could make. Like I had no idea. Like you look at some of the pictures they take, the labeling and everything, and you're just like, wow, you did that all yourself. Like it's amazing. Good for you. You know what I mean? Like with everything that you can offer, like Vista Print and whatever you want to talk about. You know what I mean? Like you can make something for cheap and start a business
Get it
almost.
up.
So yeah.
It doesn't take much to start a business like it used to.
No.
Start a business, getting into sales, I guess, in a sense, right?
Oh yeah, that's a very small step to make.
Yeah, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it opens up a lot of opportunities for a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
who are, who never thought that they could do something in that sense. Cool.
Yeah. That was kind of why I wanted to start an artisan market too, right? It's just because we wanted to sell our stuff somewhere and we wanted to offer a place for other people to do it as well, right?
Yeah.
Because that is what it is we're giving these people an opportunity to have more foot traffic than just
You create a display for them.
Facebook. Yeah.
So hey, I want to showcase your work and I'm proud of what you do for the community and hey, put it right over here and hopefully every month 1,000 people will see it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if there are any artisans that would want to apply, how would they do that?
They would just have to send us an email.
Where can they get in contact with you guys?
We have an email specifically for vendors who want to apply to sell their products with us. It is uwapply@gmail.com.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, you can also just stop by the store too, and then we do have application forms you can pick up, and that will kind of give you a rundown of what it is or how much it is and everything to be in store.
Yeah.
And then you take it home, you fill it out, and then we can kind of get to know you and your products, and then you can drop it off again. So
Makes
Cool.
sense. So you said there's a lot of competition, if you could call it that way, within the local craft space. Do you guys notice an increase in quality as a result of that, or certain people or certain things just stopping or speeding up?
I would think actually quality is one part of it that you would see improving. But a lot of people make great stuff. But what you see is the people who take it seriously, who want to do it as a full-time business instead of just I'm messing around with some stuff and trying to sell it online.
Got it. So so really what happens at a certain moment, the people who want to make 1 or 2 a month are not going to be able to do it anymore, and the people who
Well, they can't have stock, right?
No.
That's a big thing. So yeah, the people that want to turn it into a business, you see they're serious. You see that they stock the product, they try, and you know what I mean? They give an effort.
So what kind of products would you be looking for to sell from local crafts?
literally anything.
Okay.
If you make it, we want it. It's really interesting. Like the more unique the product, the better almost. Like we love seeing different unique things.
Yeah.
Anything as long as it's handmade.
Could you give a couple of examples of maybe people at home are like, hey, I could do something like that?
I'm trying to think what we're looking for right now. Men's products. Men's products are hard to find actually.
Interesting.
You know? So like
How many
we
local?
love-
actually makes
How many
sense.
local guys that would? Yeah, I can see that actually.
Or somebody who makes wooden pans or wine bottle toppers, those kinds of unique items.
I'm trying. I don't know. Like we have this one lady in, and I really like. It's kind of just a different take. And I just thought it was really cool when I first seen it. She's called Wild Jewelry, and what she does is she takes flowers, puts them in resin, and then puts it in jewelry.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's
Okay.
really cool. And then she has kind of like a, what the flower stands for on the back of the card. And it's just kind of something, just a different take on something that a lot of people make. Like a lot of people make the jewelry, right? But this
Right.
is just kind of unique.
Yeah.
I've also seen people that we don't have any in the store, but that have taken a shovel and then they metal cut out like silhouettes and stuff in it. And then the shovel still so you can put it in like a garden or outdoor display. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just really cool things that people, it's all art. It really truly is, right? So, and everyone likes to work with different product, or I guess like different materials.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so what are some of the best selling products right now in the craft market?
We sell a lot of natural body care products. People
Okay.
love knowing where it's made, that it's made by someone who uses it, and that it's handmade, not factory made.
Yeah.
They really care about what's going on in their body, etc.
Yeah, we sell a lot of decor too as
Yeah.
well, just home decor people. Like you can get anything customized to it, so we do sell a lot of customized pieces for people.
Okay.
We're getting into Christmas, so then now I'm
So-
finding, sorry,
Yeah, so customized meaning you go back to the
the maker, yeah.
Okay.
So if you want something, you come in, you're like, hey, I want this glass, but I want this thing on it. We'll contact the vendor, and
Okay.
then we'll get them to make it for you, and then you can pick it up in store.
cool.
So
Because you can make really personalized gifts that way.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, we
Especially if you wanted to like give a birthday present or some form of gift to be.
Yeah.
Good
Well,
way to do that.
that's a huge
Yeah.
addition to it.
yeah.
we sell wedding presents
Yeah.
as well because people like that personal touch. It's unique. It's not necessarily something that anybody else would be able to find to give to them.
Right.
Yeah, it's for the artisan market. It's quite hard to tell you what sells best because it all depends on the time of year too. Like right now,
Yeah.
since it's back to school, we've got back to school signs and some kids' clothes and jewelry, just kind of stuff like that, and little reusable lunch bags. And then now that it's coming to Christmas, we're gonna start doing like the novelty like cups and all that kind of stuff, and then we've got
Okay.
gift baskets and just kind of anything quirky.
You can make custom
Scarves.
gift baskets for people too. then.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a lot of beautiful scarves, hats, like outerwear accessories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We sell a lot of that stuff as well.
Yeah, it was funny when we were trying to figure out a name when we combined business. It was almost impossible because how do you put a name on something that has almost everything? I don't know.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
General store. Done.
Yeah.
exactly.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Gift baskets. I actually want to ask you a question about that. Is it just something you do for people, or can companies come to you as well and say, hey, we want 10 gift baskets or 20, 30 gift baskets for our team for Christmas?
Absolutely, we do that for companies, and we have done that for companies.
Okay.
People can choose what they like in their gift baskets.
Yep.
And then we can, multiply that by however many they need. So we've had some that were a mix of like cheese and different types of chocolates, chip nuts from Picard's.
Yep. Really cool.
We can also do ones that are, a slice of cold pressed handmade soap.
You can do them at different price points,
Different
right?
price
That
points.
really dictates what goes in the basket.
We can
Right.
do ones that are geared to different types of people,
Yeah.
kids, adults. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
We do it all.
Yeah, they can come in or email us and tell us who the person is, I guess, maybe something they like, and from there we'll just hit your price point with a bunch of stuff, usually foods, and then maybe something from the artisan side, depending on the person.
It's kind of cool because it's not generic. You make each basket a little more unique, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is kind of nice.
Mm-hmm. Well, then you can differentiate yourself, right?
Yeah.
At the moment you.
So if you have a whole client list, you can be like, oh, this person likes this person likes this, and then you can make a basket customized to that.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
If we even have enough products, we could do like a vegetarian or vegan gift basket, that
Okay.
kind of thing as well, with dietary restrictions and everything. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
One more question before we wrap it up, and this is a question we ask everyone. What are 3 pieces of advice you could give anyone who would want to start something on their own?
you need to do what you're passionate about, because everything else seems a little easier
Yeah.
when you love what you do. Don't just do it for the money.
Right.
Do it for the passion that you have for it.
Yeah.
And I would also tell them to do a lot of research and a lot of planning on what you're going to do. You will make mistakes along the way, but every ounce of planning that you do will pay off. And jump in with 2 feet. Don't second guess yourself. Just do it today.
I love that. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. Episode 11 of Canadian Hustlers Podcast, and we'll be back next week.